are Jonathan Anderson's Loewe puzzle bag and puzzle tote, direct descendants of the Origami tote by Stuart Vevers from 2013. Are the XL Puzzle Totes the same size as the XXL Puzzle Totes? Although it sounds pretty obvious, it is not very clear. Are they originally marketed to women or men? Does it matter? Why are we still talking about men or women for bags in 2024? Today we're going to talk about Loewe Puzzle Tote extra large, extra large, which is the east-west side-to-side puzzle tote. We're going to start with an unboxing, and then we're going to chat a little bit about it afterwards. About a year prior to my first order, not my first purchase, but my first online order with Loewe, I saw this on Instagram. Now, if you can see, the word origami is mentioned. It is also mentioned as part, or it seemed to suggest that this bag is part of their Fall/Winter 2023 women's collection, unless they post the same bag in a different post in say men's collection. I'm not sure. I saw that the handle is shorter, as you can see over here, compared to the one that I've just ordered this year finally, and also compared to the one I tried on in the boutique directly while I was in Singapore at the end of September 2023, which is the season itself, Fall/Winter 2023. And it's huge, and it is called XXL, and if I carry it by the hand, the bottom of the bag drags on the floor, and it is a little bit overwhelming. And so when I purchased mine, it is stated that it's XL, not XXL. The dimension is quite different, with the extra large having 45 centimeters by 45 centimeters by 45 centimeters height, width, and thickness and depth, while the XL is slightly smaller, slightly shorter, and slightly narrower with the same handle drop. That was early this year in 2024, in February. However, as the time of the making of this video in May 2024, the handle drop for the extra large has increased by 1 centimeters, 27 centimeters, with the large body dimension remaining. But what is confusing is that the smaller version is also now called extra large. The only difference you can tell is the price difference by about 20 to 25% more for the extra large that has a larger body dimension and a slightly longer handle drop. So that's very confusing, because even earlier this year, even I almost mistake an XL for XXL if you just look at the picture. And you do have to scrutinize the measurements exactly to know which version you're getting, or from the price. And so also intriguing for me is that when I purchased this, when I made the purchase finally in February, or was it in March? No, it arrived in March, I think. Anyway, early in 2024, I can't find it in the women's section. I could only find it in the men's section. So it's almost as if they're changing their minds and going like whichever which way, which kind of seems to be a pattern with Loewe. The puzzle bag went into a variety of different directions in 2018 and is very hard to pin down. So I am going to take the measurement here as shown in May 2024. So there's a lot more variety. Before there was only 3 colors and I think 1 cloth, I believe, of the XXL. And the XL was only available in black and in brown, or they call oak, which is this lovely mustardy sort of undertone of a brown, the color of wood. So now we move on to the origami. Speaking of origami, origami inspired, it says. That's how it was described early in 2023. The Origami Tote was part of an exhibition in Tokyo that was a friendship project between Spain and Japan. And there is a website here, and I first came across this information from the Purse Forum. And so we were quite intrigued that the Origami Tote was never mentioned, and whether Stuart Vevers, the prior creative director of Loewe, should have been credited. He is now with Coach. Now, if you think about it though, if he was hired by Loewe, then I suppose all of his design as Loewe's creative director technically belonged to, as an IP, technically belongs to Loewe. And of course, above Loewe, there's LVMH. And so if another designer or creative director stepped into his shoes, then it is part of Loewe's property, intellectual property, to develop further, and therefore crediting is not necessary. I am sure they have consulted their lawyers about this, their legal counsel. Also, if the previous designer or creative director become the creative director of a different brand, in this case Coach, if you keep evoking his name or their name, then you can imagine the risk of confusing the two brands, the sort of mixing up or the dilution of the brand recognition, if you follow the cook rather than the restaurant, if you know what I mean. I mean, Tom Ford's Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent was a big example. When Tom Ford stepped into Gucci, a lot of the designs that he modified or revamped or spruced up was originally designs by Gucci from prior decades. So I suppose I think the Origami Tote is definitely a direct descendant of the puzzle bags and totes for sure, with the separate pieces of the bag can be found in what was the puzzle bags. I suppose unfortunately it has evolved into the edge now, although my Loewe sales associate told me that they're not being replaced, they're simply being diversified. I'm not sure which one is accurate. Watch this space, I suppose. And then the puzzle tote itself, without the separate pieces, but with a pre-designed folds along the lines of what was the pieces on the Origami Tote, become the puzzle tote. So I've always wondered why it's called puzzle. Origami makes so much more sense, but of course not to confuse with the original Origami Tote under Vevers' direction. They have to find a different name, so that's understandable. So now we are left with the naming of the extra large and extra large puzzle totes, really, which I thought was very clear by the time they hit the spring summer 2023 collection with a smaller one they call XL instead of the XXL which started it all, I suppose, at the beginning of 2023. But now, if you look at their website, they seem to have reverted to XXL and completely removed the name XL, even for the smaller version of the tote. I think they are all still categorized under the men's collection, which, yeah, I don't quite understand the demarcation of men and women, especially these days, especially for bags. I can understand for clothing, ready to wear, shoes, etc. But that's a topic for a different video. So until then, I talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.